fly, hey, hey, please stay. Don't fly, hey, hey, please stay. Don't fly, hey, hey, please.
So yeah, ate breakfast, just everything was normal. I didn't have a headache. I didn't feel crazy. I wasn't like, you know what I'm saying? I was like, it was such a clean and pure and smooth experience for me that I was really hopeful for the next ceremony, the week next. And I understood why people did it and what you can get from it, right? So it was really good. Second ceremony. This ceremony was the day before the last day of our trip. It was a Friday, and we were gonna leave Sunday morning. So again, ridiculous ceremonies we do through these beautiful pyramids and, oh God, you know, just ridiculous ceremonies. Ridiculous, right? The whole week. So then Friday comes and it's time for the ayahuasca ceremony. And I'm like, dude, I'm so exhausted. Like we've just done so much. We've felt so much, so many emotions, so much discovery. So I'm like, okay. I'm like Rocky, like, da-da-da. I'm in the bathroom taking a shower, like, yeah, it's gonna be good. I'm gonna talk to some more ancestors. I was just kind of like, I didn't know what to expect, but I was like, yo, this is gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to it. So some people had different experiences. You'll hear it differently from different people, you know, in our group. So some people opted not to do it again, and that's fine. You know, I think it's about you. You know what your container is, and you know how you want to feel, you know, and what you need in your life. And ultimately, like my teacher, Guru Nam, told me, there's nothing outside of yourself you need to have a specific experience, you know, and I totally agree with that. I proved it to be right, actually, with this experience. So anyway, so not everybody in the group was going to do it. Now, the Melissa Wasi, let me just explain something, just give you some forestory here. The Melissa Wasi has open ayahuasca ceremonies every Friday and Saturday. They do 2 ceremonies a week there. So we planned this trip maybe like 6 months out in advance, 7 months out in advance. So they knew we were coming, right? So we expected there to be enough space for everybody. Maybe a couple of people, you know, coming in to do the ceremony on a regular basis. We didn't know. So 11 people come together in my group. So we go down to the temple, we walk in, and it's full. We look around and it's just like, every seat's taken in the temple. And we're like, what the hell's going on? And the girl, the beautiful Andrea, goddess, right? She walked into me, she's like, hi, how are you? Like, oh, we didn't know you were gonna be here. Like, neither of us knew about each other. And all of us wanted to do the ceremony. And the shaman, Irman, had never done that many people in that way before, ever. So he was like, no. So I'm hot, right? Because I'm the facilitator of the trip. And these people are counting on me to have a specific experience. So I'm burning, I'm like, oh, you know, oh, I'm mad, you know, like, what the hell? People are supposed to get this right, you know, we pay money, blah, 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 blah. So, and then they're mad, like, what the hell, these guys are here, you know, so we're both mad because we had no idea what's happening. So I talked to Maria and Jody, and I'm mad, I'm venting to them. And, you know, they're like, well, this is a sign, that's supposed to do it. And I'm like, no, I'm doing it. Because some people in my group wanted to do it still. 2 people said, you know what, this is a sign for me, I'm good. I don't want to have this super intense energy because the energy was different. More people, a bunch of instruments, just different intensity of energy. So they were like, yeah, I'm good. They backed out. You know, sadnam. But some people aren't backing out. They want to friggin' have another experience. They want to have another ceremony. That's why they're here. So I'm like, I'm not leaving them. I gotta have a ceremony. I gotta do it. So I'm like, okay. I'm walking back to my room so I can pay the shaman to do a ceremony that I'm hoping even works. That I'm hoping is good. I'm mad, right? I'm back to my room like, man. And then I ask myself a question like, well, why am I mad? Is it because I'm not in control of the situation? Is it because it doesn't look like the way I want it to look like? Isn't that one of the precepts to having an ayahuasca experience? To surrender to the moment regardless of what it looks like? And I was like, true. Well, if this is what the universe is calling for me to do, and if these are the people that it's calling for me to have that experience with, then it's gonna happen. I might as well just surrender it because I have no control. So I did. I went back. I decided to just see what was going to happen. So what ended up happening is more people came. More people came. And it ended up being 33 people in the circle, right? So what we did was we formed 2 circles, an outside rim, right, and then an inner circle as well. And just so happened that there was a circle at the top of the roof of the temple. So it was like the Nam symbol. It was beautiful. It was a symbol of the sun, and it was a sign for me once I saw that that was what the plan was, that this was supposed to happen this particular way. So at that point, once I saw how things were shaping up, literally shaping up, I was like, I'm completely surrendered to the moment. I know it's gonna be fine. Waheguru, right? Of course it was. So we're all sitting there and they're tuning up their instruments and stuff. We started really late because they're like nervous, you know, working it out, trying to get used to the situation. But I was holding them in light, completely surrendered. Okay. So they start the round and they call people up. Boom, 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 boom. So we got more experienced ayahuasqueros and then sprinkled throughout them some of the first timers or second timers. So I go up to the shaman, right? And before I go up, I'm looking at, because I'm right next to the door actually, in and out of the temple. So I'm looking at the shaman and I'm looking at the ayahuasca, and I noticed that it's a different color, right? I'm like, and I talked to my friend Barbara. I'm like, Barbie, damn, is that a different color? She was like, oh no. I'm like, oh, shiza. Okay, so I go up there, right? And you know, I'm really in though. I'm really like in. I'm in. I'm surrendered, I'm in, I'm ready, right? So he pours the cup, it's number one, it's a bigger cup. And he pours it to the top. Like he tops off the ayahuasca. To the point where I spill it on myself because I didn't even know, because when he was pouring it, I was like in prayer, doing a meditation, doing like a intentional meditation, you know? So I open my eyes and I get the cup handed to me and I kind of like grab it kind of haphazardly and I'm spilling it. I'm like, oh my God, this dude just gave me like a 40 ounce of friggin' ayahuasca. So I'm like, oh, I gotta take it to the head, right? So boom, I take it down. Oh my God, and it's super bitter. It's more bitter than the one prior. So I'm like, oh Jesus, I'm getting jacked. You know, I'm gonna be puking and shitting out of my ears, right? I'm sorry, but I'm like, oh well, I guess this is the time for it. Okay, so I drink this big 40 ounce shot of freaking ayahuasca, and I go back and I sit down. And I'm sitting there and other people are going up and getting their shots, and you know, I'm thinking to myself like, my whole life has been about what I could control. And it's been about what I wanted it to look like. And I've suffered the most when I've been fixed on it looking a specific way and trying to change it, and it ended up being crap at the end of it. Because I had to put my hands in the middle of something that was being guided and mastered by that which had no hands and shaped it. And, you know what I mean? Like, anyway. So I'm sitting there and I'm thinking to myself like, wow, this is gonna be a much more powerful experience because of what's happened. Like, it's kind of like the ayahuasca was working before anybody even took it. Like, it had to test our willingness to surrender before any of us, the shaman, the facilitators, me, my crew, had even taken anything, had even gotten into the temple. It was testing us. ¿Verdad? So I knew sitting there having taken this huge dose that it was game time. You know, I'm like, okay, this is it. I'm playing this game to the fullest. I'm not playing around, I'm in it. So I'm sitting there, the last person takes the ayahuasca, lights go out, right? Got a room full of people. Nothing happens. Nothing happens. Nothing. I wasn't nauseous, nothing. I was meditating for a while, actually. This is me meditating, right? And one of the people in my group started to have some reactions that caused them to have to get taken outside. And while this is happening, I'm thinking to myself, why is this happening? Oh. So this is happening because I need to be with this person. I'm fine. Granted, I just took a larger dose of a stronger portion of ayahuasca, and yet I am fine. No nausea, no nothing. I think it's my metabolism, or I don't know what it is, but I was like, good. But I was not going to let my friend go out there with people that didn't know him or her, you know what I'm saying, and not be there. So I'm like, I'm going outside my people. I go outside, and I'm with the person, and they're going through their process out there. And the whole time, I'm just in complete gratitude for how this plan is working. Because once again, it's not about visions. It's not about seeing fairies and angels pop locking in front of you, you know what I'm saying, giving you the scrolls to the end of the world. No, that's bull. That's all bull. All of it. At least for me. Maybe for somebody else, that's what happens. But for me, it was more about integrating all the experiences I had up to that point in every temple with every person, right? Integrating them into one moment. And then practicing what it is I teach, I talk about, and I live. Period. That's it.
Hey, please stay, don't fly. Hey, please stay, don't fly.